You see penis sleeves pretty much everywhere these days, but with their popularity comes a ton of questions and some really serious safety concerns. So today, we're going to cut through the noise and get you some straight answers.
All right, this is the big one, right? The question everyone's asking. So let's just dive right in. Are these things actually safe? Well, the answer isn't a simple yes or no.
So, the short answer? Yes, they absolutely can be safe. But, and this is a huge but, that safety totally depends on getting three key things right. If you mess up even one of these, things can get risky, and I mean fast.
And what are those three things? We're calling them the three pillars of safety. We're going to talk about the material it's made from, how it fits, and how you use it. Let's kick things off with what is, without a doubt, the most critical factor of all, the material. Okay, so pillar number one, material. Seriously, when we're talking about safety, nothing, and I mean nothing, is more important than what the sleeve is made of. We're not talking about cool colors or fancy textures here. This is all about what's going on at a microscopic level. The whole safety debate really boils down to one simple concept: porous versus non-porous. Think about it. Porous materials are kind of like a sponge, right? They're filled with tiny microscopic holes, and those little holes, they're the perfect home for bacteria to grow. And here's the real kicker: you can't ever truly sterilize them. Non-porous materials, on the other hand, have a completely solid surface. You can actually get them 100% clean. And this chart, it lays it all out so clearly. Just look at TPE, TPR, and that jelly stuff, which is usually PVC. These are the materials you find in most of the cheaper novelty sleeves. And check out the stats. They're super porous, you can't fully sanitize them, and they can literally break down over time. PVC is a big one to watch out for because it can leach nasty chemicals. Now compare all that to platinum-cured silicone. Non-porous, fully sterilizable, and chemically stable. I mean, the difference is just night and day.
And that chemical danger we just mentioned, this really drives it home. A lot of those cheap PVC products use chemicals called phthalates to make them soft and squishy. But here's the thing, these aren't just minor irritants. We're talking about known endocrine disruptors that have been linked to some really serious health problems, including an increased risk of cancer. That's a gamble nobody should be taking.
So what's the big takeaway for materials? It's pretty simple, actually. Medical-grade, platinum-cured silicone is the gold standard, and for good reason. It's the same kind of stuff they use in medical implants. Why? Because it's chemically stable, completely non-porous, and you can sterilize it completely. When you're thinking about long-term use, it is, hands down, the only truly body-safe option out there. Okay, great. So you've nailed down the right material. You're set, right? Well, not so fast. Even the safest material on the planet can be dangerous if the fit is all wrong. And that brings us to our second pillar, fit. And I want to start this section with a pretty sobering number, 7.4%. That's the rate of actual tissue death, necrosis, that doctors have seen in severe cases where a constrictive device cut off blood flow for way too long. This is the absolute worst-case scenario, and it's exactly why fit isn't just about being comfortable, it's about preventing a very serious, potentially permanent injury. Penile strangulation. That's the scary medical term for what we're trying to avoid here. What happens is, if a device is too tight, it traps blood and stops it from flowing out. This causes some major swelling, which then chokes off the supply of fresh, oxygenated blood coming in. The tissue basically starts to starve, and the damage can happen a lot faster than you might think. So, how do you avoid that? It all comes down to design. You basically got two main approaches. The problem with a lot of sleeves on the market is what we call the hinge effect. They use a single tight ring at the base to hold on. Not only is that a really dangerous point of constriction, but it's also not very stable. The solution? A totally different approach. A dual anchor harness. This transfers the force to your pelvis, holding the sleeve securely in place without constricting or cutting off blood flow. All right, we've talked material, we've talked fit. But guess what? You can have the best, safest device in the world and still use it unsafely. And that leads us to our third and final pillar, usage. This is the part where you, the user, are in the driver's seat when it comes to safety. Listen, if you take away only one single thing from this whole section, let it be this number, 30 minutes. That's the maximum time the FDA recommends for continuous use of any constrictive device. You've got to take it off within half an hour to let blood flow get back to normal. Pushing it any longer than that seriously, dramatically increases your risk of tissue damage. Let's talk about lubricant, because this is another critical safety point. The rules here are super simple. Yes to water-based lube. Always.
A big no to silicone-based lubes. They'll literally destroy a silicone sleeve, making it sticky and totally unsafe. And also no to petroleum-based stuff like Vaseline, which can cause skin irritation. So yeah, water-based is really the only safe way to go.
And finally, let's talk cleaning. This is where that medical-grade silicone really proves its worth. After you use it, a simple wash with mild soap and warm water is usually all you need. But, and this is the key part, for a deep, true sanitation, you can soak it in diluted bleach or even rubbing alcohol. Try doing that with a cheap TPE or PVC toy, and you'll just destroy it. This way, you know it's 100% sterile for the next time.
Okay, so let's recap. We've gone through our 3 pillars: material, fit, and usage. But how do you take all this information and use it to make a smart choice? Let's tie it all together with a simple safety checklist you can actually use.
All right, here it is, your 5-point safety checklist. Number 1, material. Is it 100% platinum cured silicone? No exceptions. 2, retention. How does it stay on? You're looking for a non-constrictive harness system. 3, regulatory status. Is it listed with the FDA as a Class 2 medical device? That's a big deal. It means it's held to a much higher standard. 4, certifications. Has it been independently certified as skin safe? And finally, number 5, instructions. Does it come with clear, easy-to-understand guidance on time limits and lubrication? Honestly, if you can't tick every single one of these boxes, just walk away. It's not worth the risk.
You know, at the end of the day, it all boils down to transparency. If a seller is being all mysterious about their materials, or they don't give you clear safety rules, that's a massive red flag. A good, reputable company is going to be proud of their safety standards. They'll want you to know exactly what you're getting. And for anyone who wants to be absolutely certain, you should look for proof. I'm talking about independent lab certifications that back up all the safety claims. When you see things like in vitro epiderm OECD TG439 or epivaginal in vitro toxicity testing, those aren't just fancy marketing buzzwords. They represent real, rigorous scientific testing that proves a material isn't a skin irritant and is genuinely safe for intimate use. So, what's the bottom line here? It's that your safety isn't something that just happens by accident. It's a direct result of the choices you make about the material, the design, and how you use it. It's all about being an informed consumer. Now, if you want to see what devices that meet all these medical grade standards actually look like, a great place to start is rxsleeve.com. Thanks so much for watching, and please stay safe out there.